15 inspiring facts about Steve Jobs that you didn't know.
#fact.
Did you know that Steve Jobs has over 300 patents with his name on them? 1. Steve Jobs was adopted. On February 24, 1955, Abdul Fattah Jundali and Joanne Schiebel welcomed a son, Steve Jobs. Schiebel and Jundali were not married when Schiebel became pregnant. Jundali hailed from a Muslim family and Schiebel from a Catholic one. Schiebel left the University of Wisconsin where she was studying at the time and gave birth in California. Schiebel decided she shouldn't keep the child, so she gave Jobs up for adoption. They did have a daughter, though, who they retained after a while. 2. Jobs almost became a Buddhist monk. In 1974, Jobs traveled to India to stay at the Neem Karoli ashram, seeking spiritual enlightenment. Unfortunately, upon his arrival, he had learned of Neem Karoli's death the previous year, so he altered his trip. Instead, he headed to the ashram of Haidakan, Babaji, where he spent 7 months before returning to the U.S. Jobs started to practice Zen Buddhism, which became a huge part of his life. At one point, he considered becoming a monk at Eiheiji in Japan. 3. Steve Jobs was a college dropout. Jobs didn't finish college, like many other successful businesspeople. Jobs enrolled at Reed College in 1972 but left after just 1 semester. He told his parents that he didn't want to squander their money on a pointless degree. Jobs' birth mother Schiebel had been promised by his adoptive parents that they would pay for his education. 4. Steve Jobs founded Apple Inc. in 1976. In March 1976, Jobs and Steve Wozniak built the first. In March 1976, Jobs and Steve Wozniak built the first. The Apple I was created by Wozniak and Jobs, and he chose to market it to the general public. By April 1, 1976, the two had founded Apple Computer Company, today known as Apple Inc., in partnership with Ronald Wayne. At Jobs' parents' residence on Crist Drive, the company was officially registered. Their workplace, which eventually moved to the garage, was in Jobs' bedroom. 5. Jobs named an Apple computer after his daughter. Only 3 of Steve's 4 kids were raised by his wife Laureen Pohl. His first child was born to him and Chrisanne Brennan, a Homestead High School girlfriend. Jobs denied responsibility for the pregnancy when Brennan learned she was pregnant, which led Brennan to break off her connection with Jobs. On May 17, 1978, Lisa Nicole Brennan Jobs was born. Jobs visited Brennan 3 days after Lisa's birth but was not present for her delivery. They gave their daughter the name Lisa together. The computer Jobs was working on was subsequently given the name Apple Lisa. Then he publicly denied that he gave the system his daughter's name and that Local Integrated Systems Architecture was the initials of the acronym. 6. He married one of his students. In 1989, while delivering a lecture at Stanford Graduate School of Business, Jobs first met his future wife. Jobs' front row seat during the presentation was occupied by Laureen Pohl, and he couldn't take his eyes off of her. Jobs approached Pohl in the parking lot after the talk and extended an invitation to supper. Pohl accepted Jobs' marriage proposal in 1990, and on March 18, 1991, they were married at the Ahwahnee Hotel in Yosemite National Park. 7. Jobs met his biological sister at age 27. It took a long time for him to learn about his sister because he was adopted as a young boy and had no idea who his birth family was. When he was 27 years old, Jobs found his sister, the writer Mona Simpson, and they got together. Anywhere But Here, the title of her debut book, was about her relationship with Jobs' birth parents. Before Jobs' investment, it was a sub-company of Disney at first. After that, it became its own spin-off firm. The first Pixar movie, Toy Story, was a collaboration with Disney in 1995, but because of Jobs' investment, he received executive producer credit. Disney repurchased the business in 2006. Jobs briefly held the position of Disney's largest shareholder after Disney converted Pixar shares into Disney shares as part of the acquisition. 9. He has over 300 patents to his name. The precise number of patents that list Jobs as either the single or CEO inventor varies widely. Jobs has received 43 patents for inventions, with the remaining patents being pertaining to design. He holds patents for things like telephones, speakers, stairways, packages, and power adapters. The day before he passed away, Jobs got the patent for the Mac OS X dock user interface. He now has 141 more patents to his name after his passing. 10. Jobs wore the same outfit daily, the same style of clothing, yet not exactly the same. The uniform that Jobs adopted was a black turtleneck, pants and sneakers. Though his style was straightforward, he became well known for it. He reportedly had about 100 pairs of Levi's jeans and would only wear them. 11. Jobs had a liver transplant. Steve Jobs received a cancer diagnosis in 2003, along with a pancreatic tumor. Jobs first disregarded recommended medical care in favor of finding alternatives. It is believed that Jobs may have died so quickly because of the alternative treatment. He finally had surgery to remove the pancreatic tumor in 2004. Sadly, his tumor resurfaced in 2006, but nobody was aware of it, given that they both have a unique blood type. Tim Cook offered Jobs a portion of his liver. Jobs underwent a liver transplant in April 2009 at the Methodist University Hospital Transplant Institute in Memphis, Tennessee. 12. 2007 was a good year for Jobs. Jobs was admitted to the California Hall of Fame in 2007. The California Museum for History, Women, and the Arts is where you may find it. After being in development since 2005, the first iPhone was unveiled on June 29, 2007. Additionally, Jobs was rated the most influential person in business by Fortune magazine in 2007. At just 23, Steve Jobs had a net worth of $1 million in 1978. 2 years later, Jobs had a $250 million net worth. When he passed away in 2011, he had a net worth of $102 billion. The majority of this came from his Disney shares, not Apple. 14. Jobs' biography was released 19 days after his death. Jobs began talking openly about his life and participating in interviews with media in 2009. Walter Isaacson was given permission by Jobs to pen his sole biography, with the exception of the cover art. Isaacson was granted complete creative control. Jobs made it possible for Iowa the biography. Jobs made it possible for Isaacson to interview friends, relatives, and co-workers honestly in order to provide a true narrative of his life. 15. Steve Jobs has his own statue in Budapest, Hungary. In Hungary's capital, there's a nearly 7-foot 1 meter tall bronze statue of Steve Jobs. The sculpture was created by artist Erno Toth for the Hungarian software firm Graphisoft. After his passing that year, On December 21, 2011, the statue was installed. After his passing that year, on December 21, 2011, the statue was installed. The statue was erected to honor Jobs' contributions to the technology sector and the assistance he provided to Microsoft. Under communist authority, Steve Jobs has led a fascinating life, beginning with being adopted before discovering Buddhism as a spiritual path. His passion for electronics and computers served as the springboard for a prosperous and creative future that saw the creation of Apple Inc. As long as Apple keeps inventing and creating, his legacy will endure.